Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where tonight my friends and I will be playing Delta-Green RPG. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is Music from a Darkened Room. It was written by Dennis Detweiler, and it's available from the Drive-Thru RPG and Arc Dream Publishing. I'm the game master for this scenario, and this is episode 3. Our recap will be given by Morgan Llewellyn as Agent East. So without any further delays, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Morgan.
Thanks, Tom. Status update for Operation Iago, May 3rd, 2005. Agent Hades' reassignment has gone through, and Agent Hermes has arrived. We have briefed him on the developments so far. Agent Lake and Agent Fox went to obtain information from the local police regarding the death of Arthur Donnelly. It seems that he was in a manic state leading up to his death, and his ex-wife knew nothing of Donnelly's purchase of Spooner House. The police had a bad feeling about the property, reporting a strange gap in the blood splatter like someone was standing over Donnelly when he cut his own throat. Agent Jockey went with Agent Lake to follow up with Donnelly's ex-wife. She established a connection between Donnelly and the previous resident of Spooner House, Yamila Azari, who died in February of 2004. While they were doing that, Agent Fox and I went to speak with the county coroner, Elmer Perkins. It seems law enforcement was unable to recover the razor that Donnelly used to kill himself. Mr. Perkins was, however, able to verify that Yamila Azari died in the exact same manner. And he also gave us an account of other strange deaths that have occurred in Spooner House. Falcone suffocated, Tycroft managed to shoot himself twice in the chest, and Tyler drowned in an empty bathtub. I have contacted one of our friendlies, a parapsychologist named Dr. Emil Iaro. He is going to accompany us into the house, though he seems a little overeager. I'm also about to contact our other friendly, Elizabeth Tucker, who is an antiques dealer. She may have had a relationship with Yamila, since Yamila purchased a lot of antiques before her untimely death. Hopefully, this house won't kill us all, though it is a bad thing to get your hopes up in this line of work.
Excellent. All right. What are you all going to do now? Agent East, I think you had mentioned to me you were going to make another phone call.
Yes, I'm going to call the antiques dealer, who I just named in my recap, and it's already slipped my mind. Elizabeth Tucker.
All right. Let's establish the time of day.
Because I tried to call her the evening we were to go over there, but then I remembered that she might know something about Yamila, so we're going to wait for the next day for when her office opens in the morning, so then I can call, because the number we have for her is apparently for her office.
Okay. So we'll just give it this. You're going to call her in the morning. It's still the evening. Is there anything that anybody wants to do before we move ahead to tomorrow morning?
I think we not already try to establish other things to do, and then we agreed that this is the next logical thing to do. Step. Yeah, I think that's what we agreed, unless I'm remembering wrong.
Our plan was to go into the house, but
indeed,
since there's a little more information we can get about perhaps the influence that the property had over the previous resident before Donnelly, we should just follow up on that one last lead before we go.
I actually had a question / idea. So, if I recall correctly from the house's history, from the horrible ongoings that have occurred in the past, police officers have stepped into this house in the past.
Yes.
Briefly, and been like, "Oh my God," and then left, and they're fine. So it would seem you need to be in the house for such a period of time, given its history, for something to occur to you. What is that period of time?
We're not entirely sure of the details. Most of the residents of this house don't survive longer than a year.
Okay.
The number of people doesn't really seem to have an influence, but we're not entirely sure what triggers these phenomena. Perhaps the introduction of so many of us will have a different impact than, say, one person moving in all by themselves. We simply don't know what it is about the house that's causing this to happen, if it's some kind of entity or some artifact. We don't know what's there.
Well, it's not
until we
something
go.
boring like toxic mold. Toxic mold doesn't make you do that stuff or drown you in a bathtub with no water in it. That's crazy.
If you will note, you did create a list of previous owners.
That's correct.
And you can see that some of their intervals are quite a bit more than a year.
I think it was a year on average, though, was it not?
Recently, I guess between Donnelly lived there for a while before he died, because he bought it after Yamila died in 2004. He's died in 2005. Yamila seemed, if I recall correctly, she bought the house in like 2003. So there's been recently there's been a string of back to back.
I guess we should just go. I can't think of anything that would be helpful as protective gear or anything other than what we would normally take in any unknown situation. Should we try and enter the house from multiple points at the same time?
I'm not entirely sure what that would accomplish.
I'm not sure either. All right,
Let's
go through the front door, see what happens.
It was 17 dead in 50 years.
That's
I
not
was just looking back in my notes. So we're all in agreement then?
I mean, that's about 3 years between each death, if they're evenly spaced. But then again, those 50... I don't think the house was inhabited continuously. There were gaps.
If I recall correctly, was there not a couple that moved in and they met their demise quite fast compared to the rest?
See, now that sounds familiar.
Something's ringing a bell about that.
Yeah. I'm better at running through, jurisdictions and red tape and stuff like that than I am, putting up some type of magical ward or something. But if any of you guys got something like that in your repertoire, go for it.
There is the list.
Okay, so we have some that are a year, some that are a couple years.
Okay, but there's no one it's like they only lasted a day. No, okay. So.
No, but there are some that are in the same year, like Dr. George Weaver.
Gareth Gadgets.
Gareth. Yeah.
Well, I can't think of anything else to do. Then
Arthur didn't last a whole year either.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully just a brief yet thorough investigation will be fine for us. So let's do it.
Follow up East Lead, and I think then might as well go in there.
All right. So are you still going to wait until the morning?
Yeah.
Why not?
So they can call the antique dealer.
And you're going to wait for the psychic.
Yes.
The parapsychologist.
We told him to meet with us in the morning or whenever.
All right. Where were you going to meet with the parapsychologist? At the same restaurant?
Yeah, we're just going to pick him up.
Denny's.
And go.
The Denny's, yeah.
At the Denny's.
All right. We'll say that the evening is uneventful. I get up the next morning, you have some breakfast, and you head on over to the Denny's. Go ahead.
I'm going to place that phone call.
Oh, you can place the phone call before you leave. Okay. The phone rings for a couple of rings, and a woman answers the phone. She has a fairly young sounding voice. She's like, she says, Elizabeth Tucker, Antiques Acquisitions. How can I help you?
Hi, Elizabeth. This is Agent East with the FBI.
Agent East with the FBI. Okay. What can I do for you, Agent East?
I'm curious if you've had a relationship with a woman named Yamil Azari.
Yamil Azari. It doesn't sound familiar.
She died in 2004. She had reports that she used to buy a lot of antiques. I'm just curious.
Oh,
if you
well, let me
encountered her.
check my records and see if there's anything. Do you know what sort of items she purchased?
I do not. That is
Let me check.
what I'm trying to ascertain.
There's a few minutes pause, and she comes back and she says, "No, I don't see anybody by the name of Isari. I know pretty much everybody. I can perhaps call around and see who else, if anybody else knows. Is this some official investigation?"
It's somewhat of an informal investigation. Have you heard the news of the suicide of an FBI agent named Arthur Donnelly?
Not particularly. Is this recent?
This is fairly recent. He had a relationship with Yamila, but they both lived in the same house and they both killed themselves in the same way. So we're just trying to find a connection and background. Give us a little more insight into the incident.
I'm sorry, I don't know anything about that. See, normally people call me when they're looking for a particular piece of furniture, maybe something historical, something that was someplace and has been moved. But yeah, I don't recall either of those names. I don't seem to have any record for either one of them.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Wait a second. Let me think for a moment. Mila, sorry. She was, I did get an inquiry, but it wasn't from her directly. It was from one of my other contacts. I have a lot of contacts. She was looking for sort of postmodern, I think Iranian designs. It's not something that I normally deal in, but I do recall that was Debbie Cashno that was asking that. I'll give her a call and see if she knows anything more.
That's much appreciated. Should I call back in half an hour?
Certainly, or you can give me your phone call. I'll call you when you need something, or when I find out something.
Sure. I'll give her the number for the burner phone.
Okay. So she takes that down. Thank you. I'll give you a call if I find anything out. And she hangs up. Thank you. So it's off to Denny's.
Huh?
Nothing like a good Denny's.
All right. So you drive down to Denny's, and as you pull into the parking lot, you can see Professor Yarrow leaning up against the hood of his car, waiting. And as he sees you, he's all ready to go. He quickly opens up the front end of his car and reaches inside and pulls out a little briefcase. And has this big shit-eating grin on his face as he walks towards your car.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm very excited.
You don't say.
What do you have in the briefcase?
Oh, just some of my equipment. That's all. Things that measure temperature and electromagnetic fluctuations.
All right. Well,
What about one of those what are they called? The machines that are good at detecting sound that's too high or too low for us to hear. Do you have one of those?
Oh no, not really. But that's an interesting idea, interesting theory.
well, I'd say we don't waste too much time here.
Should I follow you in my car?
Yes, just follow us.
All right. So you drive over to Spooner House, and you park in the front. And he gets out with his little briefcase, and he walks about halfway up the drive to the house, and he stops. And he goes really silent. He looks for the house. It's very interesting.
Is there a problem?
I don't think so. Just a feeling, you know. Like the house is watching us.
Well, we can watch us enter.
Jock, did you have the keys?
Yeah, right here, boss.
Yeah, would you do us the honors?
Yeah,
you walk. Okay, you walk up onto the porch, and as you get to the porch, he stops again, and he takes his hand and he reaches out and he touches the spot on the wall where it says "Hell is me," that you guys noticed before, sort of sticking through the paint. And he's like, interesting.
Rather ominous, isn't it?
Perhaps it could just be, if the house has a reputation, it could just be teenage pranks.
Sure.
That would be a reasonable explanation behind it, but
Well, if you don't mind, I'll go in first.
By all means.
I guess.
I slide the key in, grab the handle, and open it for him.
Okay.
After you.
So you move it in. As you open the door, there is almost a palpable sucking of air as the door, which is a big heavy oak door, swings in. It opens onto a fairly small foyer. There is a closet on the left-hand side with a full-length mirror going from top to bottom of the door. And on the right-hand side, it opens into a dining room. You don't really have to go very far in to see this. And as he walks in, he puts his hands up like this and goes, "Oh, can you feel that? There's energy in this house." And he takes a few more steps inside. He says, "People have died here. More than a couple."
Yes.
17 to be exact.
No shit.
He takes a few more steps inside, and he steps past the dining room, which is just an entrance into the dining room, and into the den, which has some furniture and some tables and things like that. Now, you immediately notice that the style of the house looks like it has been redone in modern Middle Eastern sort of style. There are carpets on the floor. Their furniture has definitely got a Middle Eastern feel to it.
So when you say living room, do you mean where it says breakfast?
No, where it says you walked in the main entrance. There's the dining room.
Oh,
and there's the den right here.
Oh, okay. Oh, the dining room's the one that says dining. Got it.
Right.
Okay. English language. I get it.
So you're walking in from the bottom.
By bonus room, do you mean it's a nook?
It's upstairs.
It's a loft.
There's a single bedroom
Correct.
or single room upstairs.
Okay.
You could see that from the outside if you looked
Okay.
up. All right. So he steps in there. Y'all can do spot hiddens if you want.
You mean
And you can-
search?
Search or
search,
awareness.
sorry,
Yeah,
search,
search.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a 99. I didn't find anything.
You really, really, really didn't find anything.
Well,
I sort of I hit my head and sort of I had to pull my hair back and I'm like be careful of some of the door heads.
Agent Lake, you step into there and you look into the door on the closet and then the mirror on the door, and it makes you jump.
Yeah.
I got a pass.
Right.
Regular.
I got a pass as well.
Regular pass.
Just regular.
Okay. How about you, Morgan and
Fail.
Fox? Agent
Just
Fox.
a regular.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So let me split that up a little. Agent Hermes, you, as you're going by the dining room door, you look in there, and you can see that there are quite a few cardboard boxes, and they look like they've got various things in them, like somebody was packing them up. It doesn't look like they're unpacking. It looks like they're going the other direction.
They're going
Packing.
the other direction. How old do they look?
Well, you'll have to actually go into the dining room and take a look. So you can do that next.
Okay.
You're just
I'll
sort
do
of
that.
looking in there and seeing this.
I'll do that when it's time
Okay.
for me to do that.
Agent Fox and Agent Jockey, you're following our psychic into the den, and you both notice there is evidence that somebody's been here recently, because there is a cup of coffee in a what is it? Not the styrofoam thing, and it's just sitting on the counter, obviously cold, half finished. You're thinking maybe when the police came in, they might have been drinking coffee and just set their trash down and didn't clean up after themselves when it was a crime scene.
Yeah. So when seeing the styrofoam cup, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Where is the styrofoam cup?
It's in the den, just sitting on a table. Maybe there's an old empty box, donut box. It's there as well.
Such sloppy work, leaving their trash here.
Getting any feel for this room, Mr. Yarrow?
He's like, there's something here. He says, but this isn't where it happened. It happened somewhere else. And he does something interesting. He kind of walks to the various doors leading out and glances down the hall, and you get the distinct feeling that he's looking for something in particular. And then he starts down the hall towards what would be the master bedroom.
Hey, Fox. Does this guy genuinely think that he's sensing something, or is he just bullshitting us and he read all the news reports that said where all these people died?
Well, I'm a man of science more and than this, but
I'm not asking.
I don't believe. No, I don't believe he's. I think it's bullshit. Anyone could walk into a house and go look it up. Just look at the local newspaper, see dead person, or anyone could take a guess that someone's died. Someone would have died in a building at some point,
I agree
or
with
in
all
this
that.
area.
What was the short bio on him from management that he does or does not have, paranormal sensitivity?
It's a parapsychologist. Another team from Delta Green used him for some opera, but we don't know what exactly.
He helped to
Could
find
be
something.
Right.
That could have been blind luck. I mean,
But speaking of,
Could have been.
could I roll some sort of could I roll maybe human to see if he actually believes, sort of study him as he's going along, or if he's kind of
Sure.
making his up
Sure.
his way as you go along? All right. I got a 61, 46. So just a regular. Just no, it's not a double.
So far, I mean, you guys know your business.
yeah.
So everything that he's done so far could have been done by any Joe off the street just making shit up. Okay, you've seen no evidence that he's the next thing he's gonna. You have a feeling the next thing he's gonna start doing is going, "Did you hear that?" You know?
Right? Yeah.
From a behavioral point of view,
One of my favorite from Ghostbusters. Listen, do you smell something?
So he goes into the master bedroom and he's like, it's here.
Oh, okay.
What is?
Yeah, I'm not believing this. I'm gonna be like, and just walk over to the master bedroom so nonchalantly.
I'll walk in and I've got my arms crossed. There.
Yeah, I've just got my arms crossed in my pantsuit, just looking at him like, all right.
Fox is holding in because he really just wants to have a go at this man for wasting our time.
Let's let him. Let's see what he says.
Agent Jockey, if you want to come with me and we can start looking into the bedrooms on the off the den. It's like they're labeled 2, 3, and 4. Bedrooms 2, 3, and 4 on the map. Do you see those?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that sounds good. Which one do you want to start with?
We'll just start with 2 since it's right here, and then we'll go to 3, then into the check that bathroom, then 4. So we'll start checking that side of the house.
Let's do it naturally, where you would do in a if you're walking to a house like this, you're probably just going to go and glance in each room, see what's there, and then assess it later. So we'll do it that way. Well, let's go to that master bedroom first. Master bedroom's 13 by 15, so it's a fairly good sized bedroom. He's looking at a spot on the wall where there's obviously there had been blood splatters. Okay. So big guess that this is where it happened. You can also see that there's blood splatters in the carpet that they've been sort of cleaned, but they're not very clean. The odd thing in the room is that one whole wall, floor to ceiling, is a mirror. Very thin little seams in between. Odd for the age of the house, unless they were added later. Gives you almost that 1970s sort of vibe.
Sure. And you said also when we first walked in, there was a closet that also had wall to ceiling mirror. Was that correct?
Well, that's actually that's back there. It's not a wall to ceiling. It's on the door. But it's to adjust your hat and.
Okay. I thought you were saying it was also wall to ceiling door. Never mind. Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm just going to look in the mirror and be like, okay, that looks like a reflection of the room, right?
Well, it's obviously the master bedroom. But if you're walking into the room, I'd like you to do a power roll.
Okay. Okay.
Is this for anyone who walked into the master bedroom? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pow.
I'm probably right outside the door, given that there's probably not enough space for 4 people to cram in there.
Unless it's a Three Stooges scene. But
right.
I got 68 out of 70, so unless I don't know anything about Delta Green, that passes.
I got 67 out of 65, so that's a fail.
Okay. So for Agent Hermes, the room is just sort of ugly. I mean, you can't really it's just a box, and the mirrors on the wall is just tacky.
Yeah.
But Agent Fox, when you go in there, you don't like this room. The fact that there are the mirrors on the wall make the room seem almost like it's underwater. It's not only ugly, it's uncomfortably ugly. Like, why would you want this? most likely you're going to end up walking right up into that mirror because you're going to think that's another part of the room. You know, it's really awful.
All right, then I'm just gonna be like, that was a letdown because he was all like, oh, there's something here. I'm going to the dining room boxes, and you can catch up with me.
All right. So at this point, he's like moving around the room and saying, yes, there was a horrible tragedy that happened here. So much blood.
I walk up to him and put my hand on his shoulder like, I can sense it too. There's a...
You can sense it.
It's cold all of a sudden. Really? Can you feel it?
It's very quiet, but yes, it's very, very faint. It might in fact be stronger at night than it would be in the daytime, but it's here. It's definitely something here.
Are you all right in there?
I can feel all the dead. There's so much death.
When you see that, when you say that, Agent Lake, he's like, "Oh yes, come. Maybe you'll feel it too. It's a chill in the air."
I kind of just give a wink to Lake as I'm just hands in the air, going along with this.
I'll step in and take a look. That's a pass, 39.
Yeah, you don't feel anything.
I'm like, all right.
But
All right,
you do see why it's ugly.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right. Let me see. Hold on just 1 second. Working, and I've got my markers.
There you go.
Oh, I like that. And you can just put me as back in the dining room because I got bored with our human dowsing rod. And
all right. So Mark and Jockey and East, were you going to start at bedroom number 2 and work your way around?
Yeah, just work around clockwise.
Okay. Let's see. Bedroom number 2. Bedroom number 2 is a small 11 by 11 bedroom. It seems obvious that it was a child's room at some point. The wallpaper is definitely children's wallpaper. However, it looks like it was being remodeled because the part of the wallpaper has been torn down. It's got little. The pattern is basically a little blue ocean with little sailing ships in it. There's no furniture in the room, but there is a step ladder, and there's some old paint buckets that are sitting in there. And then you were going to move on.
Yep, to room 3.
Room 3. Bedroom 3, it's a small 11 by 12 bedroom. It adjoins the hallway, and it shares a bathroom with bedroom 4. It's a plain empty room with a ratty old lime-colored green rug on the floor. Bedroom 4 is a 12 by 11 bedroom with the door leading into the bathroom also. And there is a rug on the floor. I'm sorry, the rug has been removed from this room. It's empty, but they've left the little wooden tack strips on the floor to around the edges to catch the carpet. That's how you know the carpet's gone. But other than that, it's empty. Takes you just a couple of minutes to look through those. They don't seem particularly unusual. Howard, you go into Agent Hermes, you step into the dining room. It's 13 by 14, and there are 3 windows looking out into the front yard that are gabled. You can see the shrubbery out there. This room seems a little old-fashioned in its design. There's crown molding going around the ceiling and around the baseboards that's a little fancier. So it's probably an older part of the house. There are boxes in here. And as you start to glance at them, you realize they look like a woman's things. Probably Yamila's. Was it Yamila?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Just from the general style of some of the objects, they've got that Iranian sort of.
The ex-wife, you mean, right? Is that correct?
No.
No. Yamila Azari was the previous occupant of this house who killed herself in the exact same way.
Okay. I'm
Donnelly
sorry.
did.
And other than the boxes, there is a 1950s, fairly gaudy-looking chandelier hanging in the middle of the room.
And all the stuff is dusty or
A little bit, yeah. Maybe it's
Okay.
been here a while since.
Is there anything overtly antique or anything that's like, wow, that's not of, the style of this room?
No, not particularly.
Huh.
Did you want to look through the boxes or anything like that?
Not so that it's taking up hours. I'll spend about 20, 30 minutes going through the boxes, just doing a quick inventory of what is this stuff.
Okay. You can see it looks like personal items, things like that. Do a search for me.
Sure thing. That would be a 6.
Very nice. All right. As you are searching, you do pick up a book that looks very much like one of those store-bought diaries. Fairly fancy one. Not particularly old, but kind of fancy. You undo the latch and open it up, and this is what you see.
Well, that ain't English. Something tells me it's Arabic.
It looks
Only
like the
because it
whole
looks like
thing is
Arabic.
written in Arabic. Yes.
I will bring this to the attention of my fellow agents, though.
All right.
Anything else interesting?
Mm-mm.
Perhaps like a little sticky note saying, whatever you do, don't. No? Okay.
Don't read the Arabic book.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. So I can go now to an agent or whenever you want me to.
You tell me what you want to do next.
Okay. I just want to bogart all the attention. I will just look around and be like, where's the nearest guy?
They're out in the den.
I go to the den and
Understand.
be like, hey, guys, I got this, found this journal. It's in Arabic.
Well, it's a
Good
good thing I
find.
always bring my handy pocket Arab guide to Arab. No.
What's that?
Roll, luck roll. Never know.
I'm sure we could get an Arabic
What, a little
dictionary. It's just
how to write and say Arabic words? No.
It's
You don't just carry one of these with you everywhere you go?
It's just too
I
bad it's
certainly
occurring
don't.
In 2005, because nowadays you can just hold up your phone and do a live translation. It's going to be a pretty bad translation, but it's something.
wait, no, we just have to spend hours and hours with a dictionary.
Yeah,
I'll
and that
go-
doesn't work so well usually.
It doesn't.
Or,
It doesn't.
We'll just, we'll take it. We'll have to
Yeah.
find somebody who can actually read it.
Yeah, we'll look them up on AskJeeves.com or something.
All right. So we got 3 of you in the den in the middle of the house, and we've got 2 of you in the master bedroom. What would you like to do next?
Think about checking out this loft at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually check out the mirror, but first I'm just gonna touch him on the shoulder again and be like, I get another sense. It's a stronger one. I sense bullshit in the air.
His smile disappears when you say that. And he says, I don't understand. You invited me.
Well, I personally didn't, but it's no offense to you really, but
I mean, if
don't
you're not going to take this
believe
seriously,
that
I can
kind-
just leave.
I'm a man of science, and I analyze behavior, and I get from you that you're just taking us along for a ride. You've said things that I could easily have just looked in my case files. Unless you can provide me with something new.
I've heard enough. You're not serious. And he gets very angry, and he walks back out into the den where everybody else is. And he's like, I suppose you're all just playing some sort of practical joke on me.
Beg your pardon?
Why do you say that? What's wrong?
Well, I've just been accused of bullshitting.
What?
By who?
Fox.
By Fox? I wouldn't listen to Fox. He drinks on the job.
He's probably just busting your chops, Doc.
There are some serious spirits moving about this house, and
spirits.
Yes.
Oh,
all right.
Could you please locate them, please?
It doesn't work like that. I've had enough of this. You're
Doc,
not serious. You don't.
Doc, do you know Arabic?
Of course not. Why would I know Arabic?
I found a journal in Arabic.
He's like I've had enough, and he goes to the door, and he takes his little briefcase with him, and he goes out the door, and you see him sort of cursing under his breath as he gets to his car, and he throws his briefcase.
I'll chase after him. I feel bad. Be like, Doc, and does he slow down or anything, or?
Well, he stops and he turns around and he looks at you and he's like, "What?"
I don't want you to go. All right. I'm sorry. One of my colleagues was being derisive of you. If you want, maybe we could give the others some space. We can walk the ground, see if there's anything there, and then when they're not in a room, you and I can go in there.
I'm just too upset at this point, and right. I'm completely clouded now. I don't think any of you are very sensitive to this.
I am not, but I respect what you do.
Well,
and I give him my number to my burner phone.
He takes that. If you want the spirits to manifest their energies to you, then you need to get rid of the people who are complete skeptics and be here in a calm and clean manner. Come at night, come alone, whatever, to commune with the spirits, not be skeptical. Or
I'll tell you what.
That's all that I can do to help you.
We're going to do our investigation here. And later tonight, I'll give you a call. You just let me know if you are available and the sorts.
I already know I'm not available. I have lectures tonight that I'm giving.
All right. Thank you for your time.
He gets into his car and he drives off. It's a little huff.
I just walked back in, closed the front door behind me. I'm like, Fox.
I'm in the master bedroom checking the mirrors. I'm not even.
Mirrors just seem to be mirrors.
Okay. Then I find Fox. I go to him like, Fox. I mean, we were all singing underneath our breath. I was like, this is bullshit. But I mean, another team found him to be useful. If anything, I was hoping he would be like, it's here, and he touches a secret panel or something, and then we could investigate or something. I mean, I had no problem with him being like, should go into the room first. Be like, buddy, have at it. Take point. That was unnecessary, Fox.
I just can't deal with someone leading us along. If he wasn't so overdramatic, I would have been fine with
Agent Fox. One of the reasons why I wanted him here is if this spirit turns hostile and it takes him instead of one of you, I would much prefer that.
Bingo.
I just couldn't stand him any longer. I've dealt with people like this before. And
I wouldn't say that you've dealt with them, if that makes sense.
I don't mean it. I mean, they've corresponded on not this.
You had to put up with them, and you're too frustrated.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, well, just look in the mirror and think about what you've done.
I crack up and walk
I
out
will.
of the room. It's awesome.
It's not going to affect me, but he's stormed off. But if you guys really want him to come back, I will try and be kind and speak to him out.
It doesn't matter at this point.
You did what you did, man, but don't be such a dick to the assets.
With that, does anybody want to help me check the loft?
I've walked out of the master bedroom. I hear you say that. I'll follow you up to the loft. I'm
Awesome.
all for it.
So,
Lead the way.
Thank you.
So it's now that I'm in the master bedroom at this point to kind of look at the blood splatters. Do I have to make a power roll or no?
Oh, good point.
Sure.
No, that's a pass. Oh, 3.
Yeah, it just looks like a room. An ugly room.
Very, very, very ugly.
Um,
A lime rug too. This is just ugly decor in here.
Now that is evil.
Also, while you're in that master bedroom, you probably glance into the bathroom as well. You wonder if that's the infamous bathtub
Where he drowned.
without water. It's a fairly nice ensuite, but there doesn't seem to be anything here.
Well, I want to start checking nightstands, dressers, drawers in the bathroom. I'm trying to find that if he left a journal of any sort.
Okay.
Any scrap of writing from this guy.
All right. You go ahead and do a search on that.
$39 is a pass.
Okay. You look through the drawers, and other than a brush or a comb, you don't really find anything. There's no journal. You barely guess that he was living here. If he was living here, he wasn't living here very hard. He wasn't moving stuff in. This stuff looks like it's still in the Yamila Isari sort of phase. He didn't redecorate when he moved in.
Has he done, looking at a window, has he done any like digging or anything in the backyard?
Well, you'd have to go out into the backyard.
Okay, I'll go in the backyard.
All right. So you're going to go out into the backyard. Agent Lake, you're heading up the stairs.
Yes.
And I'm following him.
Okay. It's a little you can see you're in the master bedroom, so it's just down the hallway. I would like you both to do power rolls.
Okay.
Let's see here. 50.
Yes. 7.
Yep, I passed 50 out of 65.
You go up the stairs, and at the top of the stairs there's a little door. It's not locked. You open it up, and this is the little bonus room. It's like a little sitting room. There's a recessed window. There's recessed windows with little benches underneath, where you could sit. There's an old rocking chair in the corner, and there's some house repair supplies that are sitting there as well. The room feels quite claustrophobic. It's small, and it's right at there's the peak of the roof. So unless you walk down the middle, you're very likely to bang your head accidentally on the ceiling. So not a very comfortable room. It smells like old paint, and something a little more subtle, like cinnamon or.
You smell that?
It's odd.
I mean, if it's small, I'll go ahead and try to start giving it a thorough search. Look around.
Okay.
Try to find the source of this smell.
Yeah, are there drawers underneath where you can sit by the window?
There are not.
There are.
No. All right, Agent Lake, do a. Sorry.
Search. Right?
Search again, or
No, I was going to have you do a
awareness,
dexterity.
Or... Oh, okay, dexterity. Yeah, to sort of navigate it. Sure. Ooh, that's a 4, so that's a success.
Okay. You managed to navigate the room fairly well without bashing your head on the ceiling.
That's good to hear.
Agent Hermes, you came in as well. You can also do a dex roll.
Sure thing. You got it.
I've lived in a house like this, and I banged my head on that ceiling so many times.
And I guess I'm too focused on Agent Lake because I rolled a 95.
Okay. Do you smell the owl?
You turn around, and as you turn around, you whack your head.
Ow!
And the rest of you hear the bang from downstairs.
I just yell, "That was me. Ignore that." And I look, Lake, it's a bit small for 2 agents. I'm going to head on out. You got this.
All right, then.
All right, Agent East, you've gone out into the backyard. And Agent Jockey and Agent Fox, what are you doing?
I will go back in and speak and walk over to Jockey and say, Jockey, did you guys fully check bedroom 2, 3? That one.
They're pretty barren. There's nothing really in there. A couple of old rugs. I was going to go and check out the garage if you want to join.
Oh, yeah, I'll come with you. And I'll apologize to you because you won't bite my ass off, but I apologize for getting that man to leave.
Hey, it's shit happens, doesn't it?
But,
I'm sure he'll come back. You could see the wanderlust in his eyes. He'll be back.
If they always come back, that's the problem.
All right, we'll head out to the garage then.
All right. You go down the same little hall that heads towards the master bedroom, and there's a little door leading into the garage. When you open the garage, you can see light from under the door, but the light's off. From the garage door, because it's daylight outside. But the garage light itself is off. There's a switch just inside the door.
Yep, flick that on.
Okay. It looks like an empty garage, pretty much. There is a fluorescent light hanging from chains from the ceiling. Do a search roll.
$94 will not succeed that.
No, that's also a fail for me.
Okay. You step there. There's a single step going down into the garage. You step down into it. It's got a cement floor. You can see that there are oil stains on the floor from cars parked in it. You'd want to guess that you could put 2 cars in here, but maybe not. They'd be pretty tight. So maybe just one. There's some storage areas around the side that don't have anything in them. There is a ladder and a few things that you'd expect to see in a garage.
Not really seeing much in here. Should we maybe crack open the garage door, give us a bit better light?
Yeah, maybe that might help.
There is an old garage door opener. Looks like it's fairly old, has the big button on the wall to push.
Be careful with these. I've heard horror stories about the springs that catch these, and I'll press it.
There is it sort of groans and it's slow, but it raises up the garage door. Also, I didn't see it, but there is a refrigerator in here as well, over against the wall that's plugged in.
I'll check the fridge, but before I check the fridge, I'll be like, Jockey, just be careful. As long as there's no like cat flaps or anything on the garage door, we don't want to end up like that film that came out a few years ago, Scream or whatever. Don't want that stuff.
Do another search roll for me. as you're walking around the garage.
Both of us or just Fox?
You can both do it since you're walking around.
I got an 01, which means
Oh, nice.
Nice.
well, yeah.
That's a fail for me again.
Okay. One thing you notice as you're walking around is the difference in cement, that your guess would be that the garage was added onto the house at some point, because you can definitely see where the original foundation of the house was and where what would have probably been a back porch. And then the cement, the rest of the garage looks more modern. So maybe, 10, 15, 20 years old. Because the rest of the house, the house was apparently built in like 1910. This garage is definitely more modern than that. You also notice that the wiring isn't particularly well done. So it hasn't been updated in a while. There's a fuse box on the wall. So here's where the house fuses are. But other than that, it seems like a normal garage.
Anything in the fridge? Because I was gonna.
No, it's empty. But it's cold, so it was plugged in.
You hungry, Fox?
Now you mention that, yeah, a little bit, but
Go to Danny's afterwards.
do we have to? Can we have pineapple pizza again?
Don't come over to me with that.
Well, we better go.
Yeah, I mean we've pretty much scouted out this area, and we can't really nothing really interesting in here.
We could always mark it and come back later.
Yeah.
We might have double check, maybe do a proper analysis of it. Right.
That's true. I'll close the garage door.
Okay. Agent East, you have walked outside. You've heard the garage door open and close, maybe even seen it. You're looking around the backyard, but the backyard seems to be rather overgrown. It's mostly lawn with wooden fence going around it to separate it from the neighbors. There's a few bushes in the back, a plumbago with little blue flowers on it that's all overgrown. The grass doesn't look like it's been clipped in months. So as you look around, you don't see any evidence of anything being disturbed or buried or...
Okay, and there's nothing like a shed or a cellar or anything?
No, there's no downstairs. There's no cellar.
Okay. Is it the trees?
Oh, I'll give you one tree in the backyard that's just sort of sitting there.
Okay, so it can't be the trees because that
It
would
has
plural.
one big
Only
branch
one tree.
going like this. Yeah, no.
No. I'll go to the kitchen whenever you're ready for me.
And if there are trees, the trees are not well kept. They've gotten ratty. You kind of figure if this place was, you put some money into it, you could fix this place up nice. It's in a regular old neighborhood, and if it wasn't for the reputation.
I don't know why I find that so funny. Funny comment in the chat.
Do a power roll, Agent East.
$53 is a pass.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, other than that, there's nothing really unusual. All right. Let's see. Agent Lake and Agent Hermes. Are you done upstairs? Oh,
Well,
you said you were going to go to the kitchen.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
left
search.
him. I hit my head and was like, it's too small.
All right. So Agent Hermes, you're going to the kitchen. Agent Lake, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna keep searching. Hopefully,
You're gonna
my
keep searching
smaller
upstairs?
frame will be easier to search. Yeah,
Okay.
easier to search around up here.
Let's move down to the kitchen. Agent Hermes, you get down to the kitchen. It's about 12 by 12. It looks like it was a cutting edge kitchen in 1950s.
Oh, good old icebox.
Yeah.
It's an actual box that holds ice.
Well, they had refrigerators in the 50s.
Not in the rural areas. Not everyone.
Well, this isn't rural. This is Chicago. So
fair point.
There's you're pretty sure the floor is made of those thin stick tiles, you know, where
I know
they've,
what you mean.
you know, stuck down to the ground. Some of them look like they're a little peeling and a little dated. Their counters are Formica, and they're cracked and yellowed with age. The stove looks old.
Yeah.
It's a gas stove. You can tell that. There is an odor in here, like rotten eggs. Not really strong, just sort of subtly there.
I'm going to check to see if that's coming from the gas line. Because by 1950s, they were already doing that. They put odorant into natural gas.
Yeah, you smell the oven, and yeah, there's definitely a little bit of that sort of butyl smell.
So it might be a gas leak.
Maybe, but it would be really a light one.
I know. I'll look for it with fire. No, I
don't. Some of the cabinets are partly opened.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ransack the place, but I'm gonna open fridge, freezer, cabinets. Did they leave the ice trays? That's very important.
Yes, there are ice trays in there.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that'll solve the case. Okay.
There's a few canned foods and some dried foods, some dried pasta, things like that. But it looks like it's been there a while.
Okay.
And there's you do start to smell a little bit of garbagey smell, and there's a half cabinet on the on the ground level that you open up, and there is a garbage can inside there that's definitely got garbage in it because it stinks.
Okay, it's smelly garbage, but here's the something that's occurred to me. For a house that's been abandoned, there any bugs, vermin running around, or?
You don't see any directly, but you do see evidence that maybe there was some, insects, cockroaches, maybe.
Well, that's what I was expecting, though. Okay,
right?
Like,
you were kind of expecting that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
go ahead.
Do a power roll.
A power roll. 77. So that's a critical, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what's
critical
your power?
Pass.
Oh, right. It's supposed to be below your.
Yeah.
That's how math works.
That's correct. So it's a crit failure if it's above.
That's right. That is a crit failure.
Okay.
I let it all in. The winds are upon me.
It was the trees.
So you're standing there. Maybe you're even thinking about the trees.
I love that joke is still going.
And you sort of glance over out into the backyard through the breakfast nook window, and you suddenly realize that you can see the reflection of a man in the glass. So it's very faint, but you can see it, the reflection of this man, and he's standing behind you.
Oh. Okay.
What do you do?
I make it look like I haven't noticed him, and then I reach for my cutting edge 2005 phone and try and take a selfie. So he would also be in the
phones
picture.
I don't think they have
What?
cameras in them.
I remember having a really shitty camera on my phone back then. But... Okay. Then I'm going to do what any logical person would do. And I'm just going to go like this, trustful, and pretend to fall backwards. I want to... Does anything happen?
Oh, you're going to hit the ground.
I don't actually fall backwards.
Oh.
Hand mine, and then I'm about to fall backwards.
We'll do a luck roll.
Okay. Maybe he's a helpful ghost. Be like, oh, buddy, careful. I don't know about that. Hold on. don't have my stats memorized. How lucky am I?
Luck is 50-50, and
That's
Built
what
agree.
it is. And that's a fail. I'm unlucky.
Okay. So as you do that, and you sort of look back, what surprises you is this man steps out from behind you, looks you in the face, and says, "Leave me alone." And as he says that, he's got a shotgun in his hand,
Oh, shit.
which he flips around, sticks in his mouth, and pulls the trigger. You can hear the sound of the bang, you see the splatter of blood, and then there's nothing there. You all hear Agent Hermes yell.
Ah,
Hermes,
run
what's the matter?
Towards Hermes.
I saw a tree staring at me. No, I'm kidding. I had a. Oh, God. Fuck you for making that guy run away. He should have seen this. Oh, I was looking around in the kitchen. It smells weird in here, by the way. And I don't know. I guess I'm going to say this to piss off Fox. I sensed a presence from beyond the realm of physical manifestation. And I looked out the window, and in a reflection of the window, there was this dude staring at me, and not in a nice or flattering way. And I joked that I was going to fall backwards on him. And as I was doing so, he sidestepped me and said, "Get out! Leave me alone!" And then he shot himself in the face, and there was, well, the effects of that. And I'm assuming there's no blood or gore around me.
Correct, there's nothing. And I would like you to do a sanity roll.
Considering you just described that vividly, normally I would say that you're making that up, or you're putting two and two together, but maybe your mind's just projecting something.
That is a fail on the sanity.
1d6 sanity loss.
Ow.
You're
I
shaking.
need that.
You've
Need
created,
that, dude.
You've created this like vivid manifestation. I don't believe
he's as white as snow, and he's shaking.
Look, man, if I'm going to be imagining people, different
Can I-
gender. You get it? You get me?
Can I just? I'm gonna check Hermes over. I'm gonna check like his eyes and.
That's a 6.
All right.
Take it out on your children.
Yeah, so you can project.
That was awful. But
Yes,
awesome.
you can't suppress it.
I'm good.
I'm going to check Hermes
Because
over.
yeah, if you take 5 or more, you will have a. It's not, you don't actually roll. You will have a bout.
That's what have fun though. But
There's no int roll. It just you and the keeper
Oh, okay.
decide one of the 3 options, and it happens.
all right, I will take a ding to my bond with my girlfriend. So what? That just goes down by 1 instead, or
No, you roll a d4,
Jesus? Okay.
and then you subtract this from the amount of sanity you lose, that bond, and your current willpower.
Well, I'm going to be single soon because I was 4.
Yes, so it means you only take 2 sanity damage, but you take 4 bond damage, and your willpower is reduced by 4.
Yay!
Right.
Yes.
Hermes, I've got like a little light and I'm flashing it in his eye. And, are you okay?
No.
Yeah,
I'm not going to like
down,
freak out or anything, but
just lean up against something or sit down and I'll get you some water.
Agent Lake, did you come running down the stairs? Or when he yelled?
I guess. I mean, does it look like I was finding anything up there? Am I searching or just?
Well, I'm just asking if you left that room. But,
I mean, if there's not anything interesting, then yeah, I would.
do a power roll.
Okay. Well, that's an 82. That's a failure.
You hear him downstairs yell, and you get up concerned, see if something's happened. You manage not to bang your head. And just as you are leaving the door and glancing back into the room, The rocking chair is moving. And you don't know if you bumped it. You don't remember bumping it.
I'm going to take note of this and then go make sure that everyone's all right.
All right. So I'm going to take it at this point, you guys are all kind of in the kitchen breakfast area.
Yeah, I've given Hermes water. I've made sure he's all right.
Yeah, that scream would have attracted all of us.
If I can get water, I'm assuming.
I'm not drinking water out of this house. Ooh.
What happened? Why'd you scream?
I saw a rat.
A rat?
No, I'm kidding. I don't even want to talk about it. I was like, well, actually, you can tell him. I don't even want to talk about it.
You just look a bit pale. I think you do need to drink something.
We'll go to the Denny's or a bar or something. I'm fine.
Oh, go get some fresh air.
Let's keep going. Let's get this done. Just real quick, Tom, if I go to the stove and I go to quickly light one of the things, does it start sparking and there's like, I hear the flow of gas or no?
Yes.
I quickly turn it off. I say, good. If need be, we can burn this place.
Don't think we need to jump to that just yet.
It would make me feel a lot better. So is everyone together now in the kitchen? Are we having
You're kind of spread out kitchen, breakfast, den. It's all like one big area.
So maybe there's a room that's not on the floor plan. Like, should we look around for maybe a sealed up, root cellar or something? Or maybe some type of
there's a closet off the kitchen, a pantry.
Oh, I thought I'd already looked in that when I looked in the
Yeah, you probably did.
One thing I don't know though. I think it's listed as storage. That's connected to the garage. Was that searched?
I don't think we searched in there unless that was included in our spot hiddens or our search rules.
Um,
I'm sure you did. There was probably some tools and things like that. Not much.
So let's just think about this real quick. The garage. What was in the garage? I think there was one thing you guys found, right?
There was nothing. Like
nothing?
Fridge, oil stains.
Oh, okay. We got a journal that's in Arabic that we're going to need to have translated. There's some reported weirdness in the master bedroom. Take my word for it. There's definite weirdness in the kitchen.
When I left, this may sound weird, but I mean, no, it does sound weird. The rocking chair was moving. Maybe I knocked into it, but I'm pretty sure that I didn't. I was very careful not to hit my head or, scrape my pantsuit or anything. So I'm thinking something's up about a number of the rooms in here. I'm getting an eerie feeling for sure.
Okay. Anyone get a sense of where, the house is so big on the outside and basically falls through? Like, do you think there's like a room? Oh wait, there's a fireplace. Did we look in the fireplace?
It's just a fairly old-looking style modern fireplace.
Okay, well, since I'm there, I'll go to the porch.
Back porch. Just back porch. Agent East saw that when he was out there.
There, I got fresh air, Fox. Happy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we got to come back at night.
That'll do, Hermes. That'll do.
Noted.
Maybe we should just go over every room again. We need to make sure, just again, analyze it a bit more. Yeah, there might be fuck all in rooms, but it's better to double check.
We could double check, and also I'm not opposed to move refrigerators away from walls. Take up carpeting, or if the tile isn't really cemented down.
Yeah, check
take it up.
Also, master bedroom has all that mirrors. Why the fuck would you want?
Yeah, we can break the mirrors. I don't believe in bad luck.
That's an ugly.
Agent East, what are you thinking about all of this so far?
Well, given the deaths that have occurred in the house, and now Agent Hermes is seeing some sort of hallucination, and Agent Lake is also either having a hallucination or seeing some kind of manifestation. There's definitely something wrong with this place. I just don't know what's causing it or why. That's what I'm trying to think about, is why is it like this?
And so as you're standing there pondering it, and you're all there in the group, and you're Hermes is telling his story, Lake is telling his story. Definitely feels like there's something. And everybody else, you're all looking at each other. And as you guys are talking, Agent East, without consciously thinking about it, reaches over and picks up that cup of coffee and takes a big swig of it. And East, your mouth is suddenly filled with rancid coffee.
Oh.
You good there, East? Why'd you do that?
Oh. I don't know.
Man, this house is fucked.
Ugh, I want to go rinse my mouth out.
I don't know if you want to use the water from the tap, but
Here, rinse it out with some coffee.
wait, where'd that coffee come from?
It's the same coffee.
You dick.
Like, don't be a jerk.
That's some treasonous behavior, Agent Jockey. I don't appreciate it.
Like,
Well,
what
I don't know about what you fellas are thinking, but I think maybe we need a bit more context for what's happening in this house. So
See if we can't find somebody for this journal. Has
yeah,
Tucker tried to call me?
No.
Right.
what do
Well,
you
you
think
could-
about
if you-
returning to the? Go
You do
ahead.
an intelligence roll, Agent East.
58 is good.
All right. You're guessing that just by looking around this place, if Yamila Ishtari was looking for furniture, this is the furniture she was looking for. So if Elizabeth, probably the thing she's remembering is somebody looking for this stuff,
True.
which might not
True.
lead anywhere. It doesn't lead anywhere.
Yeah, I have that all here. I'm wondering who can we find to translate this Arabic?
Nearby university or Chicago?
We've someone that we can.
You are not that far from a than 20 minutes drive of university.
Or you
There's
could even
someone-
go to a mosque. They have mosques.
Let's get out of here for a second.
Yeah,
I wanna
might
say-
need to clear our heads to think clearly.
Did I need to make a sand roll for drinking that? Like, I was
Yeah, I'm sorry,
That
take
was
a sand roll.
completely out of body. Like, it's wigging me out a little bit. Yeah, an 83 is a failure.
All right. Yeah, do just a 1d2.
2 points.
You can still taste it.
What do you think about returning to the green box idea as well?
I think that's a dead lead. I don't know how we're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Also, so let's say we find it, right? And it's a storage unit. It's full of stuff. I mean, sometimes stored, filled to the brim. What are we looking for? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything. So,
It's
definitely
more a
need more context.
tertiary concern. If we can reestablish the green box, that would just be benefit of Delta Green to the future. I don't know how it'd be helpful to us, but let's get out of here.
Mhm.
I say we either go to the university or go to Denny's and have a Grand Slam.
I just drink rancid coffee. I don't want to go to a Denny's.
Can we stop going to Denny's? Can we find
What's the
somewhere
difference?
else?
You know, there's other places that we can go eat.
Can we
Howard
go
Johnson.
somewhere else?
Howard Johnson.
Do I have to take a sand roll for that suggestion? Okay.
All right. So you guys are going to leave.
That's
Yeah.
the consensus.
Maybe take his advice and try returning at night once we know more.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You guys should return at night. I'll guard the trees.
Do we want to try to get in contact with this guy again and make it better with him? I mean, do we really care about him that much?
Oh, yeah, well, it's quite early in the morning, isn't it? So we have a good few hours to get our shit together.
Yeah, I said I
If
would
we
try
find
and be
out-
friendly.
If we find out or decide that we do need that doctor.
Well, maybe we could talk about this. Can we please just go?
Oh, I thought we're walking and talking.
Okay.
So I guess we're in the car now on the way to that university that we all know of.
I'm waiting for Tom to be like, well, you try to leave.
No. I assume you lock the door as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Right.
We're not really in a barn.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you leave. You're heading towards maybe University of Chicago. That makes.
Yeah.
But it's a Loyola.
Sure.
All right, that's about 20 minutes away. You arrive at the university. It's still middle of the day,
Okay.
and you're obviously looking for somebody who can translate Arabic and has time to do it. Go ahead and let's do a group luck roll, but use whoever has the best luck.
We all have 50 luck.
Oh.
It's Delta
Okay.
Green.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Me. Have someone else roll.
Wow. What are you doing over there, huh? Just making rolls for fun
decide-
over there.
decide on somebody to roll.
I'll
All
roll
right,
it.
Jockey, take us away.
Yeah, jockey.
What is it? Is it low is better or
Low
high
is
Low is
better.
better.
Low
Low
is
is
better.
better.
Okay.
It's flipping a coin.
Yeah, I rolled a 1.
Hey!
very nice.
Very lucky.
So you
Red.
not only find a professor, but you find a professor who has a student who would be willing to translate that for you. It's a lot, so it's going to take them a couple of days.
Okay.
And,
So-
and
so
they tell you at a glance it looks like a personal journal.
So
of some
slow.
sort.
Will it be faster if I hand them this handy little pocket
Your
book of
little
Arabic?
pocket Arabic. She's like
maybe
amateur. Um,
maybe make like a small donation to the university or something.
well, you can pay the
Why?
the student for.
we're gonna pay the student in Subway gift cards.
No, I was thinking, what's like the equivalent of $20 an hour in 1950s money?
This is 2005.
2005.
Oh wait, sorry. Yeah, but different scenario.
Are
Sorry.
you doing all right over there?
No,
I see.
Hermes will.
Did you hit your head? Did you go back in time?
She's a woman, so you're going to pay her in 1950s.
That's
We're gonna pay you $150 an hour for this. Thank you so much. Now, of course, if it was a male student doing it, we'd pay him $2 an hour. But don't worry about that.
Sorry.
Agent Hermes is just a jerk like that.
So basically, it's going to be a couple of
forgot it
days.
was
A misogynist.
It'll be a couple of days.
It's going to be a couple
Oh,
of days,
man.
and then she'll have the translation.
Yeah, Agent
Alright.
Hermes is misogynistic. He doesn't like the environment with the tree thing. Like, dude.
But I'm respectful.
You
to
obviously
fellow.
didn't vote for Al Gore. That's a short fact.
So
Well,
what's our
that might be an
next
inconvenient
what's our next plan of action while we're waiting on that?
We'll assume that after lunch you've reconvened back at your apartment to make a decision as to what to do next.
Any thoughts?
I'm drinking a beer.
Wow.
I'm not against going
Come
there
back in.
at night,
Yeah.
but here's the thing. We go there at night. You all see spooky shit like I did. You all get freaked out like I did. And that helps solve the problem. How?
Well, you said you seen someone shooting themselves, so maybe there might be other apparitions which reveal more about the house.
Well,
The thing I don't understand about ghosts, right? One, I would like follow around relatives and make sure they're okay. And like if they were about to like cross the street at a bad time, I'd be like, no. Or I'd be at a strip club or something. But why are you like at the place you died? I don't know. Maybe they're
Well,
Maybe they're trapped in their last moments.
What if it's not a ghost, Hermes?
Hey man, what you got? I'm open.
I mean, if it's, I mean, I for one don't really believe in ghosts, but I mean, some kind of other paranormal phenomena that's
I'm with you.
projecting the people in their final moments. I mean, the people who have died in this house, if those last final mental moments are captured by something on the property.
I want to break the mirror in the master bedroom. Like not break it, be like, screw you. Like I want to properly take tools and remove it from the wall.
My concern that I have is we have to be really careful because
Why?
I mean I drank a cup of coffee without being aware I was doing anything. I mean, if I had reached for my gun instead of the coffee, I mean, there's a serious concern.
That's interesting.
that's
I don't think
true.
we should split up then when we're in the place. We should keep an eye on each other. So if one person
Yeah.
is taking an action, like I'm going to investigate this drawer, then unfortunately another person has to be like, I'm going to watch that person investigate that drawer.
Well, another thing, as well, East, you pointed out that like could be people who died here, but if we start seeing the ones that we recognize for, like the bathtub incident, we could see if we start seeing apparitions appearing in the bath, we have a correlation there.
Is there somebody that shot themselves with a shotgun in the kitchen?
I'm looking
Yeah,
over the
that's
notes
what I
right
was-
now.
There was a
Yeah.
couple of suicides, like a load of suicides.
Yeah, it doesn't say method though. One
Mm.
does say gas leak.
Yeah.
Well, we could attempt to see if there was a suicide by shotgun and find out who it was.
Yeah.
It's a weak lead, but
I
might
mean,
be
one
worth
thing
knowing.
Mr. Yarrow said was, and he obviously must know something because he was hired before. He was quite adamant about coming back at night, so it might not just be the final moments of previous tenants. It could be more than that. You never know.
And I might be a skeptic, and I might have been mean to Mr. Yarrow, but working with a past paranormal investigator, whatever, back in the day, they used to say that sometimes knowing the person's name and saying it can get to the spirit a bit better. But
Once again, whose name?
I'm willing to
We don't know
rattle
what's
off the
causing
deceased.
It's 17.
Yeah, you can rattle off the deceased names. Did anyone get any sense that there was a false room or maybe a covered up house feature?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, but I didn't see anything.
I did
didn't
not
either.
see anything of the sort.
You have blueprints for the house. It doesn't seem like there was anything more than what the blueprints showed.
And there's no attic crawl space. I know there's a loft, but there's no crawl space for the roof. It's just the
No,
roof.
not
The-
beyond there. There's
Well-
that little.
The garage and the bonus room are more recent additions to the house.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well,
and that's the thing about a secret room as well, that it's a secret room. It's not necessarily going to be on blueprints.
no, but we could. This is tedious, but we could go when we go back to the house. Make sure we got the blueprints at hand and painstakingly go around.
I was thinking we could go to a Home Depot
Or
or
get
something
some.
and just get some tools. Nothing extravagant. Just things like, pry bars and stuff and look behind surfaces.
Well, we can also tap behind surfaces as well. Might get a hollow point. We don't necessarily have to destroy the house.
Right, but I wouldn't mind doing a thorough search.
No, but we could at least take our time with it. We don't have to rush into breaking things straight away. We could do it more methodically.
All right. First, we have to get the trees on board with that.
I don't think the trees will be up for it.
All right. Agent East, any other thoughts? Morgan?
Agent East is a little
Disturbed.
lost and yeah, very much disturbed and lost in thought at this point.
That's why I like working. Working, even if it's on the thing that freaked me out, keeps me going.
Our best bet at this point is just going back to that house at night until we have the diary translated. Is there anything else that's pressing we can do now?
Well, it's still middle of the day, so
I say we get some tools if we need them. And we go back and we do a thorough inspection. We just sort of look around, we go in groups or all together. We can sort of investigate the place, see if there are any hidden rooms, hidden contraptions, hidden safes under the rug or something like that. And then when it's later, we can go to those areas of the house and see what happens.
Okay, but no guns.
I was armed, but okay.
How about we just go together and you don't go alone?
You're saying no guns this time? You want to leave guns?
We could just leave guns in the vehicle.
Yeah, I'm okay with leaving guns in the vehicle.
But what if we find a secret room and there's someone in it?
All this time? Okay.
We can surely overpower one person if there's one person.
No guns. It's too much of a risk.
I mean, it's going in there without guns is also risky because then we're just sort of sitting ducks
Like
if something
what?
happens.
We're gonna shoot against apparitions in the air, Lake.
No, Agent East is a very good point. Are you okay with like crowbars, pry bars?
That's fine.
As long as when we're...
Okay, do you understand how absurd that is? You're saying no guns because we can shoot each other. Okay, what happens then when you take the crowbar and put it in Fox's face? Do you understand how absurd that is? Anything's a crowbar, an axe.
Because you can't kill the entire team with a gun, with the crowbar. You can kill the entire team with a gun, but you can't kill everybody else.
You can kill the entire team with a crowbar if nobody on the entire team has a gun.
It's a lot harder.
Guys.
East, if nobody has a gun, you can very easily kill them all with the crowbar.
Guys, we just stop talking about killing each other, please.
What did that house do to us?
The house, when we go back, we do that methodically. Don't destroy things unless we have to, because if there are spirits there, they might get angry that we're destroying things. Also, is it worth actually looking at more into people, more into the house, doing more research, going out, trying to find more correlations of what we know?
I feel like maybe we've already spoke to the authorities and they would be, I can't really think of many other places because they were there at the crime scenes and they would have all the records. Is there anywhere else you can think of for research?
Well, going to a library, I guess, but that's not. That would require...
Are there any? You guys already looked into local legends, like see if
we've already went to the library.
The house has a bad reputation. The neighbors state that the people that live in that place change over time.
Do an idea roll.
Okay.
I mean, if we can try to go back far enough and find out who actually built the place, this original when it was actually constructed back in the 1910s. My idea roll is good with a 64.
Even back in 1910, you had to pay taxes and file plans with the municipality.
If the neighbors and people know the house has a bad reputation, they know that for some reason, probably newspapers. They've probably, and some of them are pretty old, so maybe they've occasionally read in the newspapers.
Okay, so
Well,
we could correlate the dates of the deaths with the newspapers.
Yeah, so we can take the what we know of the deaths and try to find backlog catalogs of newspapers.
Yeah, we'll just
we'll split it up among the team. Just take the dates of deaths and go through the periodicals. I'll start with the oldest stuff, starting when the house was built up to the first death, and then just take it from there. Split it up amongst the team.
Yeah, we can each take like the week of whenever someone died, because it will be the news of the week most likely. Just to cover all ground.
Let's all go to the library.
Not a bad idea.
Right.
And Tom, in response to your thing in the chat, it's not your property. He died without a will, so it's going to the state, isn't it?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, I'm an agent of the state.
That doesn't mean you can burn a house to the ground. It doesn't belong.
I can in the defense of the nation.
I mean,
we don't want to draw. We don't want to draw any attention to ourselves.
I know.
That doesn't mean that isn't an option. It just means that we shouldn't do that unless we're damn sure it's a good idea.
Why we do it methodically at the minute. Don't break things unless we need to break things.
Is this brick cursed? No. Is this brick cursed? Take it down, brick by brick.
All right, so you guys are going to head on over to the library. You've probably got about 6 hours before dark. Let's see. Who wants to go first?
Well, I guess going in chronological order, I said I'd go from when we believe the house was built around 1910 to the first death. That's what I'm looking for.
So you want to pick a name on the list?
Okay. Going to that screen. I will go to Michael Wheeler and family, but I'm also trying to find, that's the end of my search. I'm also trying to find who built this place.
Okay, well, you got to look for something specific to begin with. So that's
house built in Chicago in 1910.
All right.
I'm kidding. I know that's way too big. Wheeler.
So you're going to be going back. You're going to be looking for Wheeler. See, because the dates you have are death dates.
I know. But okay, so when I go to Wheeler, and this is not necessarily, but the obituary could say they had lived in the house for such and such a time, but they bought it from such and such people. And
okay, you're going to look for Wheeler. I'll get back to you in just a moment. Okay. How about Agent Lake? Who are you going to look for?
Who's the next person on the list?
George and Marge Crease. Murder suicide.
Yeah, I'll look for George and Marge Crease.
Okay,
56 to 59.
Agent East.
I will
make sure I send them all to you.
Look for. Ariel's is kind of going like they're more focused on like
older stuff.
I mean, I tried this earlier with Fox, and doesn't go so well. But I want to try to fill in those gaps of what we don't know. That's more recent. So, who was before Tyler? Because we have Izari, Falcone, Braintree, Tycroft, and Tyler. We know
Jason and Janine Aiken, 82 to 83. Gas leak.
That's what I'm looking for. Is the gas?
Now
leak.
that's interesting. Actually, it says one dead, but it lists 2 people.
They lived there together, and one of them died.
Jockey, who you're going to look up? I want you guys to remember who you're going to look up because I'm going to ask you.
Okay,
I'm looking up Aikman. Is that their name?
Aiken.
Yeah. Aiken.
I'll take the one before the one that Agent East took. I haven't got the list in front of me of deaths.
Okay.
Here,
so
I'll put into chat, Tom. I'll type up who's doing what.
Tyler. You're gonna go for Tyler.
Hang on 1 second. I gotta do.
Sure, if that's
You
the
said
next one on the list,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, so
And then it-
Tyler's the next one up, and he's
Yeah,
remembered the
he was
empty
gonna do
bathtub.
before Tom. He's gonna. All right, hold on 1 second, Tom. Hold on 1 second. So, I am Hermes. I am doing.
And then Agent Fox, who are you going to do?
I again don't have the list in front of me, so I will just take someone like smack bang in the middle.
Okay.
I guess.
So Lake is doing George and Marge Crease.
We'll say you're doing the Torre family.
All right, hold on, I'm catching up. And then Fox is doing. You were doing the Akins.
No, East is doing the Akins.
I'm so sorry. East is doing Akins. Fox, you're doing the.
What did you say, Tom?
Torre.
Torre.
Ture.
Okay. And I feel like we're missing someone.
Jockey.
Jockey. That's.
Shock.
Tyler, we agreed, didn't we?
Yep. Well, no, that was going
Yeah.
ahead. We want to go back.
Let's.
So
I'll make it easier for you. Just do Dr. George Weaver.
Dr. George Weaver.
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
That's anticlimactic.
You were looking into the Touré family.
Yeah.
All right. So after searching for a while, you discover some information on the Touré family. They were transplants from Montreal, Quebec. They moved into 1206 Spooner in 1962. They set up house with their two children, Elise and Anton. They lived there seemingly without incident until 1963, when Rebecca Touré was briefly hospitalized for mental exhaustion. She spent 6 weeks in a local asylum and was treated with electroshock therapy. She returned in late 1963 and she resumed her homemaker's duties. Elise, however, the daughter, had become a problem. The 8-year-old became violent at school and was often sent home for swearing. Then on January 12th, 1965, Rebecca Touré discovered her son, 9-year-old Anton, drowned in the toilet bowl of the master bedroom.
Jesus.
The door to the bathroom was locked from the inside. Rebecca Touré was permanently hospitalized from that point on. Adam Touré then left the area and remarried. So that's what you find out about her.
Oh,
We should be ready. Are you going to email this to us or?
Yeah, I'll make sure you guys get all this info.
Oh, we have a lead.
That's not a good lead. That's a Jesus.
Let's do Dr. George Weaver, since I've got that here too. Weaver was a well-liked local doctor who lived in a small house on Valley Road, the road one over from Spooner Avenue. He was a confirmed bachelor his whole life and was considered upwardly mobile in the neighborhood. His practice had replaced the previous town doctor, Stanley Donegan, in 1965. Weaver attended the open house at Spooner after the suicide of Jonathan Reese, and after a short period, he bought the house. Several neighbors spoke to him of the house's dark past, but Weaver laughed it all off. He moved in on June 3rd, 1970, and was dead 9 days later on the 12th of June, 1970. Weaver was apparently electrocuted under odd circumstances in the garage. No one knows exactly what happened, but clocks in the house, which went out the moment the circuit blew, indicate that Weaver was in the garage at 2:30 a.m. for some reason. Strangely enough, Weaver's car was in the shop at the time. Investigators have no idea what he was doing in the garage at that time of night. And we'll do one more. George and Margaret Crease. Who had that one?
Awesome.
That was Lake, yeah.
George and Margaret Crease were locals who moved into the Wheeler house following the death of Isabel Wheeler in 1956. So that gives Hermes a little bit of information. They set about updating the house, adding in certain new amenities like hot water heater, a modern refrigerator, gas range, and improved electrical wiring. By 1956, the Creases' friends noticed a change in the couple. Margaret had become rude and pushy, completely unlike her previous self. George seemed frightened and rarely ventured out except to go to work. He renewed his interest in church as well, and he attended at all hours. Margaret spent an exorbitant sum in 1957 to restore the old wall-length mirrors in the master bedroom. When finished, for a brief period, the home was photographed for local trade magazines. On October 12, 1959, George Crease drove to the local sporting goods shop, bought a double-barreled shotgun and 20 rounds, drove home, shot his wife, and then himself. Neighbors immediately discovered the couple. Margaret had been shot in front of the wall-length mirror in the master bedroom, and most of her head was embedded in the ruined mirror. George had set fire to the house before shooting himself, but the neighbor managed to extinguish it before it could spread. The local community was absolutely devastated by the events of the 12th of October, 1959, and few knew precisely how to react. Public reaction vacillated between pretending it didn't happen at all to cover up the exact facts behind the tragic deaths.
Okay.
Who else did we have? I
Well,
want to do Wheeler last.
Okay. Well,
Aiken. Do Aikens. And then we'll do the Wheelers. All right. Jason and Janine Aiken. Jason and Janine Aiken moved in from across Meadowbrook to the Spooner house in the hopes of starting a family. Instead, they were faced with problem after problem. The two spent the better part of a year continuously repairing fault after fault with the house. They spent a considerable amount on their savings, getting first electrical, then plumbing, and finally gas problems under control. By late 1982, they thought they had gotten the major issues repaired, and Janice Aiken began painting the house to her liking. Jason returned home from work one late afternoon to discover the house filled with gas and Janice unconscious in the upstairs room. All 4 gas burners on the stove were on full, but not lit. It was miraculous, according to the local fire chief, that no explosion had occurred. Janine Aiken remained conscious briefly in Meadowbrook Hospital after that evening and then died. Jason Aiken left town and the following month and never returned. Okay.
Was it Janine or was it Janice?
What did I say? Janine.
Janine. Okay.
Jason left town. Okay. So now, Hermes, you are looking for the Wheelers.
and trying to also figure out who built the house.
Okay. So your research took the longest to go through. So the oldest thing that you find concerning Wheeler, now I do have some things to show you.
Sanderson Wheeler. The marriage of Miss Isabel H. Sanderson and Mr. Michael K. Wheeler will be a large event of Saturday, September 16th, 1905, taking place at noon at the Second Baptist Church. It is guessed that over 100 people will attend as witnesses, including friends and family of both. Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler leave immediately afterward for a wedding trip. Several evening parties will be given in their honor next week.
Found that after you found this one.
Meadowbrook News, November 1906. Rumors have been spreading through the community concerning Mrs. Isabel Wheeler's ailments of late. Wanting to put things straight, this reporter has done some fact checking. It seems that early last month, Mrs. Wheeler began complaining about pain in her legs. Within a few days, she was unable to walk. Her doctors were unable to form a diagnosis. Shortly after that, she became convulsive and unable to control her muscles. Her distressed husband sought medical assistance from a number of sources, but nothing was concluded. Remarkable recovery. June 1926. Many in the community were filled with joy to see one of our beloved members up and about again after many years. The miraculous recovery of Isabel Wheeler amazed many at the Meadowbrook Social Club on Saturday. She looks like she has lost 10 years off of her age, said club president Marjorie Poos. Sure. Isabel Wheeler moved back to Meadowbrook following the success of her husband, Michael Wheeler. The two had been married in 1905 and moved into the house constructed by Mr. Wheeler. But shortly before they moved in, Miss Wheeler was diagnosed with a debilitating illness, and that slowly, poor grammar here, slowly robbed her the use of her legs and caused her great pain at times. Despite this dire prognosis, they continued to live in the house, and Michael's prosperity grew. Then, in 1910, tragedy struck. While working on the construction of the county seat building in downtown Meadowbrook, a large piece of marble pillar fell and struck Mr. Wheeler on the head. He died the next day. Being a wealthy man, he left a considerable fortune to his wife so that she never had to worry about finances. It is a happy miracle that Miss Wheeler can now rejoin our society after so many years of pain and sadness. Let us all welcome her with open arms. So, Wheeler built the house.
Wheeler built the house. This is 1926, this article. And
his wife got sick, but then miraculously recovered. And then shortly thereafter, her hubby died.
Right. But they lived in the house for a long time. Our players included John Dos Passos, Howard Freeze, Morgan Llewellyn, Mark Anthony, and Josh Harwood, with myself as keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our members. You can set up private games and learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastery. There's the link below. We're currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answering any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.